Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. Very special video for you guys. A little bit different than stuff that I normally do. We've got a guest, this very special guest, my buddy KhiBucks. How you doing, dude?
Good, man. How are you? How's it going?
I'm doing all right, man. So I had this idea a couple weeks ago to do like a top 10 of the month. You know what I'm saying? Because on my channel, like I cover single issues, but I want to get into the nitty gritty, dude. I want to yap about it for longer than I do normally. And I was thinking, who's the best like who reads a ton of singles, who's got like great opinions, right? Great recommendations. And it had to be Kai, dude. So I had to invite Kai onto the channel. Kai, how many things do you pull? What would you say is your average of like number of pulls a week?
Because I've been doing better with them. So I would
Okay.
say the range is from 15 to 20. But if you asked me like
Yeah.
6 months ago, maybe even more, it was probably 20 to 25 range. It could have possibly hit 30, but nah, I can't do that no more, bro.
Dude, it is so tough keeping it to a manageable level. I am with you, dude. I think right now, like total pull list, I'm around like 50 or something crazy like that. And I'm still like, it's kind of hurting the wallet a little bit, right? But
Yeah.
so yeah, with that being said, dude, I knew I had to have Kai on to talk top 10 comic books in the month of February. Listen, guys, if you guys like this, I don't know if it'll be a series. I think it's a good idea. I hope you guys like it. So definitely show some love down in the comments. Let us know if you like this type of content, and maybe we'll have Kai back on, dude. Very exciting. So
Sure.
Kai, listen, dude. Since this is like our first, I guess, like episode or whatever, a thing I know about you is that you watch a ton of movies. So for my audience to get to know you a little bit better, the Oscars are tonight.
They
Do
are.
you have like a pick for what's gonna win Best Picture? And is that the same thing as like what you think should win? You know what I'm saying? Or like are those two different movies?
So for Best Picture,
Yep.
my personal pick would be Dune.
Gotcha. Yep.
Um, I thought Doom Part 2 was brilliant, but obviously there are a lot of great nominations. You have Conclave that I do think is deserving of a nomination. I think that's great that it's nominated.
Yep.
But I think the pick they're going to go with, it's probably Anora. And I do
That's
love Anora.
gotcha.
I do love Anora, but it's so well shot. So was Conclave though. Like if Conclave won, wouldn't be mad at it either. But my pick would be Dune. I recently just rewatched it, and those shots it's insane. I think at the level that Denis Villeneuve is operating on, he's insane, man. He's so insane. So I think Dune would be my pick, but they'll probably give it to Anora.
That's what I was gonna say. I think a lot of the hype's around Anora, but I'm with you, dude. If Dune can pull it out, I'd be super happy about it. The only reason why I asked that, guys, is because listen, Kai watches a ton of anime. He's reading a ton of manga, watches a ton of movies. So definitely give KhiBucks a follow. I think your TikTok it's KhiBucks0, right? Is that the handle?
Yep, that's
Right on,
true.
dude. And I'm linking it down in the description. So make sure you guys check him out, give him a follow. Got some of the best recommendations on TikTok for any kind of media, dude. I swear to God. But with that being said, dude, let's get into it. Let's jump into our top 10 comic books for the month of February. Kai, why don't you do the honors, dude? Hit me with your number 10.
My number 10. This was a tough list, man.
Yes.
But at my 10 spot, I will be starting off with Aliens vs. Avengers. This is issue number 3. Man, I really love this. I love the series in general. I think my only gripe with it is that it comes out every 3 to 4 months. That's probably the only thing. But it is a well-written book. This is obviously the same creative team who's done Secret Wars together
Right.
with Jonathan Hickman and Isad Ribic. They're a great creative duo. They are, and they're operating at a really great level. This issue had twists and turns. This issue was filled with great writing and great art. It's so dystopian and atmospheric, I would say, just in the setting that they're in. But yeah, man, great issue. It was such a tough pick, but I had to put this on here because this was great. This is one of the best issues I think I've read for this.
Dude, so with that series, so that's not a series that I'm pulling. With me and my Marvel, it's a little hit or miss. I try to catch a lot of the stuff on the app, but that is one series that definitely caught my interest. Because you know, like when it's coming out and you got like all these tie-in stuff to like Aliens or King Kong or other properties like that, it doesn't always go super well, right? But this one with that creative team, you know they're going to be locked in, so it doesn't surprise me that landed on your top 10 at all. The delay, or I don't know if they're delays or are they just that's just how they're solicited, like they're 3 months
That's
out or
their
whatever. But
that's their solicit. Yeah,
that's
it's their
brutal. Yeah,
solicit. It's brutal.
that's pretty brutal. I mean, Assad Ribic, right? I mean, maybe it's worth it for that. He's got to take his time. You know what I'm saying? So, so in this issue that just happened, issue number 3, because I remember like the hype was like in issue number 2, like Miles like
But with the
bonded with an
xenomorph,
yeah, right.
yeah,
So in this one in 3 that you just brought up, is there any like moment that's like crazy like that in that one? Because it seems like Jonathan Hickman, like he knows how to like pace things super well, but he does give
he
you like those
does.
big drop moments too.
Yeah, he did. I wouldn't say it's as big as this, but it's still big.
Nice.
It's a certain death is all I'm gonna say. I
Oh
don't want to give it
wow.
up,
Okay.
but yeah, it's pretty big, pretty big, and it was shocking because of the person who did perish. I was just like, oh, I didn't think it was gonna be him because of the importance of this character. But
Right.
yeah, he did it though. He did it.
Man. Okay. So Aliens versus Avengers, right? That's the name of the series.
That's the name. Yep.
I gotta check it out, dude. As soon as it comes out, dude, I'll be reading that. Maybe like a good trade. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah, I think that would be a perfect trade, honestly.
Yeah. Is that one going to be 4 issues or is it? I don't know if you know or
Sadly, it's
sadly.
4.
Dang.
Yeah,
Okay. Right on.
man, yeah.
Respect, dude. Well, yeah. Listen, that's a great number 10. My number 10, dude. Are you reading Into the Unbeing from Dark Horse Comics,
So of that book, I have not read it yet, but I've heard good
dude?
things.
I know
I've heard.
knowing kind of like what you like to read and stuff like that. I have a real, I have a feeling you'll be into this. Um, just some insane Hayden Sherman artwork right there. So
Yeah,
it's all
I'm
about
growing really fond of him.
yeah, right. So it's all about this group of explorers that go into like the dead body of like a celestial god or something like that. So they're like, normal size humans, but this thing is like massive and they're like swimming around its veins, like exploring its body, and like it gets all like gross and body horror type of stuff. So dude, Into the Unbeing, guys, you got to check it out. You got the Hayden Sherman on the art, man. It's just crazy.
And who's writing this one? Is Zach Thompson?
Zach Thompson. Yep.
Okay.
Zach Thompson.
Okay, cool.
So this is why I'm glad I got you on, dude, because you like actually know your stuff and you pay attention to writers and creators and stuff like that. So yeah, dude, you brought it up. Zach Thompson is just on an absolute heater, and this is just continuing. Zach Thompson, just awesome streak, and yeah, Hayden Sherman on the artwork. You cannot go wrong. This starts like the second arc, but I guess technically you do need to read like the one previous to this. But yeah, so dude, Into the Unbeing from Dark Horse Comics. I think it's criminally underrated right now. Definitely some really cool stuff there. Yeah, dude.
Heard.
Uh, lay it on me, dude. Number 9. Number
Number
9.
9 for me is going to be Geiger.
Dude,
Geiger issue 11.
nice.
This is the second best Ghost Machine title for me. I know it's usually people's number 1, but I am so hooked on Rick Exodus. I just think
Look, I gotcha.
that book is it's astonishing. It's interesting lore. It's interesting characters. You got all these different lieutenants. I guess
Right?
yeah. I'm pretty sure the lieutenants. Yeah, they all got different masks and all that, and they represent different animals. It's so fire. But
Plus the art is
on,
just ridiculous in Rook.
I agree. And then, but for Geiger, this issue was great. It was great development for Geiger, and then we also get to find out the name of the lady Geiger. Her name is Ash Arden, so we find out about her name, but we don't get too much on her. But I do think they will flesh that out in the next issue. So if it's one thing I wish they would have did in this issue was give us a little bit more of her backstory. But I still think Jeff Johns is cooking though. This is great art, and it's great character work I think for Geiger, and seeing what he's going through as he's trying to find this cure for his disease or his illness, I guess you would say. But yeah, great issue, man. I love this.
Dude, I'm so glad you brought up Geiger. So Geiger is a series that I'm reading. It's like free with my library. Like I get it on Hoopla or whatever.
Oh,
So
cool.
I was collecting it in singles for the longest time, but I switched it to, I think they have like hardcovers and stuff coming out. So I think I'm going to switch to the hardcovers, but thank you for bringing up Geiger, dude, because Geiger needs some love. That's definitely my favorite Ghost Machine. You brought up Rook. That's definitely my number 2, but something about Geiger, bro, like just like the Fallout New Vegas type of vibe. like that world that we can be in. I really like Geiger. Let me ask you this, dude. Nate the Nuclear Knight. You got what's the zebra's name? Is it
I forgot the zebra's name. I know the dog's name. The dog's name is Barney. The
Barney? Yes.
two-headed dog that Geiger's with. I love their relationship. It reminds me of like, you know how John Wick is about his dogs.
Yes, dude.
That's how I see Geiger is like that's how he treats Barney. I mean, it's like his family. It's his little family.
Yeah, so that's like one thing I would just appreciate so much about Geiger. Like I like the main character, but just the whole cast is just so fun.
I agree.
For some reason, I want to say Zigzag for the name of the zebra. Is that right? Zigzag? That doesn't sound right.
It could be. I don't know.
Anyways,
I really don't
dude,
remember his name.
Okay, yeah, so right on with Geiger, dude. I'm with you there. I haven't read issue number 11 yet because I think the library gets them like 1 month after or something like that. So I just read issue number 10. So yeah, dude, Geiger. I love Geiger though, dude. And Ghost Machine's just killing it, dude. Oh my god.
It is all over.
Yep. My number 9. And this is something I know you've been reading, dude. The Moon is Following Us. Issue number 6. In this one we get introduced to the new group, right? The Nightmare kind of group.
Yeah, the Nightmare group. Yep.
So I know that it seems like people are maybe lower on this series than they are about other Daniel Warren Johnson series. So I guess I was just like, what's your opinion on that? Like, do you think it's like, how would you compare it to other Daniel Warren Johnson stuff?
Yeah, I don't know. I think people. So this is how I see it. I mean, we all know Dan Warren Johnson has great body of work. And at the end of the day, this book is a hit. I'm not saying it's his best, but I think that's what everybody expects out of a writer, like their next big thing or whatever they're working on. Like for instance, Bug Wars came out, right? For Jason Aaron. So people are probably like, yo, like, is this going to be his best book? But sometimes it's not just that, but it can still be a great book. It doesn't have to be exactly their best, but it can be still a great book and received well by others. So I'm high on it. I think it's great. I don't know where I would rank it as far as Dan Warren Johnson's like his catalog, but I'm high on this. I love this book. I think it's great. If it's one thing he's always been doing so well at, is pulling at your heartstrings, making you connect with characters and make you feel so empathetic with them and relate to them. It's a strength in his, and it works every time. So I'm in. Yeah,
there. No, I mean, the moment I'm on right now, which is like when they're fighting and they have to kind of use like the memories of their daughter as kind of like weapons or whatever. That kind of just punctuates the emotional beats. And I like this too because it's kind of like just the pass off between art. Like, it's super unique. You don't really see that very often. Like the Daniel Warren Johnson with the Riley Rosmo kind of mix.
Yeah.
So although I don't know if it's, like you're saying, I don't know if it's as good as Daniel Warren Johnson's other stuff, and we're kind of just in the middle of it, right? We don't know how it ends. Right. It provides something different where you get the two different art styles, and so with that, I think it's definitely worth checking out, even if it isn't as good as some of his other series, maybe. But dude, that's my number 8, bro. Wait, number 8? That was number 8, 9. Right?
It was number 9.
There we go. There we go. Long week, dude. Lay it on me, dude. What do you got next, dude?
And so speaking of The Moon is Following Us, coming in at number 8 is The Moon is Following Us. Great issue. There was a line in here though that I really loved. It came from actually came from this guy here with the sword. I'm blanking on his name already. But man, it was.
Seems like a cool character though. I mean, just well like done. His first.
Yeah, he's a great character. I'm trying to find the line.
Oh, his name is Jebediah.
Yeah,
I just think just the cool. I don't know, just the idea of like the Nightmare being like the actual ones to save the day is kind of like a cool twist too.
Yeah.
Riley Rosmo is just insane artwork as I'm flipping through. That was the other thing too. I really think that this issue was like, if you're feeling iffy on Riley Rosmo's stuff before, audience out there, this is like Riley Rosmo is here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, I found the line too. He goes,
"Oh, lay it on me."
He goes, You both know how the world turns as you grow to adulthood. Without us, how will she be ready for that terrible reality? No one likes us, but we are necessary. I really like that line that he put.
That goes kind of hard. It's like, hey, listen.
It's a fire line. He's dope though so far, man. I'm really digging him.
Yep. Yeah, dude, I cannot wait to see how it ends. I mean, talk about a series that has so many like twists and turns and backstabs and all that stuff. So Moon is
Yeah.
following us, dude. Definitely check it out.
All right.
All right.
You're number
Next
8.
up, bro. My number 8. We're going absolute Superman. Issue number 4. I don't know. It seems like a little bit of a hot take. Like, it seems like a lot of people aren't that high on this series. Like, this one was like a step down in their opinion. I was like, bro, this is, in my opinion, it's a step up because I just want to see more of this world and like how it functions and how it operates.
Yeah, I agree.
Like all this stuff with the peacemakers and another thing too, man. They're all saying like, they want to like just focus on Superman or whatever. You got to know about Superman's supporting cast. I mean, that's like one of the most important things about Superman mythos. And like, you got your Jimmy Olsen, you got your Lois Lane. Like, you need to introduce them into the story. You know what I'm saying? And you mentioned Jason Aaron a little bit ago. Jason Aaron, he likes to lay that foundation for like 5 issues or so, and then we can start rocking and rolling, dude. So
Yeah.
I thought this was great. I know a lot of people, maybe it was disappointing. They didn't get to see as much Superman as they wanted, but I think this Lois Lane is pretty badass too. So I don't know, dude. Absolute Superman, issue number 4. That's my number 8, man. It's got to be.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great issue. I love that issue. All right, so we on to number 7.
Lay it on me, dude.
All right, I guess you kind of said sleeper pick. I don't know if you probably would have expected this, but at number
This is
7,
what I was hoping, dude. You got some like, you know what I'm saying?
we
Hit me
got
with
some
it,
sleeper
dude.
picks. We got DC versus Vampires. This is World War V, Darkness and Light. This was a one shot, but this was so fire. I mean, the series itself is great. Even though I probably don't think this one shot was probably needed, but it's still it kind of did wonders though for these characters. I think it did wonders for Wonder Woman's character and Alfred, who is now a
Right.
Green Lantern, which is also crazy. But the Wonder Woman aspect of it, where she takes a young pupil under her and you see them bond and you see them get attached. And I really was enjoying that. But then they rip your heart out when her young pupil dies in her arms. And it's,
Wow.
yeah, this issue was definitely a little heavy. It was fun seeing Alfred in here learning how to be a Green Lantern. He's being trained by freaking Guy Gardner. Like,
No, that's
yeah,
sick, dude. Okay.
bro, it's so, yeah, this one shot was so sick. So like I said, it probably wasn't needed, but I do think it was needed for these characters and to empathize with them a little bit more, I would say. But yeah, great Elseworld issue, man. It was really a great one shot.
Dude, so okay. So the DC versus vampire stuff, that's gotta be like some of the most fun, because like I'm not saying it's, 10 out of 10, whatever, but just in terms of Elseworld stuff, you got like your, you got DC versus vampires, you got like Dark Knights of Steel, you got your Deceased and stuff like that. Obviously, I think the DC versus vampire, the way it started, those first two miniseries, I think the world of DC versus vampires is super sick. I didn't get that one shot. One shots maybe I don't pick up as much as I probably should in single issues, but I'm glad you showed it some love here, dude. The DC versus vampire stuff is a ton of fun. Who is the writer of this one shot? Is it Rosenberg? So that's cool too, because you got I think it was James Tynion IV was like the original writer behind DC versus vampires.
I believe so.
And then the Rosenberg comes in and can kind of carry that idea forward and do more stuff in that world. I think that's super cool, man. So yeah, dude, shout out to DC versus vampires, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go, dude. Number 7. Let's see. Oh, here we go. One of the newest series out of Marvel Comics in the Ultimate Universe. We got Ultimate Wolverine issue number 2. Man, how cool is it to combine the Winter Soldier and Wolverine? I mean, it's so sick.
It is very sick.
And so you're telling me, right? You got Chris Condon. I mean, if we want to get nerdy with it, dude, Chris Condon is on an absolute heater too. But then you got Cappuccio on the art. I mean, this is just some of the best like looking stuff ever.
I agree.
It's so sick.
So sick.
So yeah, I like because I'm trying to think, right? So in the other Ultimate series, we don't get like they're all kind of in their own corner of the world. So this is like kind of our first look at what's going on like the Russia side of things. So just more expansion into the world. I like seeing what's going on with like the Makers Council and that sort of thing. So yeah, dude, just such a fun series, and I love where this is going. Get like the scientist, maybe she's working on freeing him or something. We get a little bit of a at the end there. I think like the camera gets cut. You know what I'm saying? So maybe is he going rogue? Who knows, dude? So I'm loving it. Ultimate Wolverine. You definitely got to be. Who's not reading this? You guys are reading it.
Yeah, exactly. Come on.
We don't need to play it. Yeah, come on. It's like, I dropped this. Let me ask you this. I don't know. Are you still picking up Ultimate Black Panther?
So, I was gonna drop it,
Okay.
but then I was like, I really do love this character. So I was
Right.
like, you know what? Let me pick up issue 13. I
I
read issue
gotcha.
13. I read issue 13. I'm glad I did, because now things are actually picking up. I must say. Issue
Gotcha.
13
So right when I
actually,
drop it, I gotcha. Makes
yeah, I
sense.
know. It actually went up. And I'm like, where was this 12 issues ago, bro? Like,
That's
I mean,
so
it's
funny, dude.
great, but it's like, yeah. So it did. Yeah, things are getting very interesting now. I think it found itself. So we'll see how it goes later on. But issue 13 is the best of the series for sure.
Gotcha. Okay, so that sucks right when I drop it, but I did replace it, guys, on the pull with Ultimate Wolverine, right? So
Yeah.
you'll have to
So
forgive me for dropping it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I can't blame you. I can't. I was on the same boat as you, so I feel you.
series like that too, it's like you want to support them too, and it's like part of the Ultimate Universe. Like you want to know what's going on with the Ultimate Universe. It's tough to make those decisions for sure.
I agree. All right. Number 6 for me
Number 6, I believe.
will be TMNT issue 7.
Love it, dude.
This is the book that came out. TMNT has been on fire. Jason Aaron he's just a man right now, man. He's on a lot of titles, but the standout for me, as much as I love his writing in this issue, but Juan Ferreira on the art, I must say, is really insane. It's so good. This is one of the best issues I think of TMNT so far. But the things Juan Ferreira is doing on this issue, it's so crazy. Having the turtles join up and all that, it's sick stuff. I just think the art is great, perfectly encapsulate the turtles and how they look, and it's cool. It's so cool. But yeah, this is at my number 6.
So yeah, I mean, great pick. Obviously, great pick. Is this the first one in like the new storyline? You know what I'm saying? Like they ended
Yes,
the
the new
arc.
art.
It's okay. And then did Juan do the art for the last issue?
Issue 6.
Was that the
Yes, I'm
okay.
sure he did. I'm sure he did issue
So
6. Yeah.
so I really love the art in issue 6, and I was like, oh, this is the new artist for the series. Like it kind of blew my mind. TMNT is another series that I also get through my library or whatever. So I haven't been picking up the last 2 singles, but with Juan on the art, bro, I'm thinking that even though I get it free with my library, maybe just to ride it, you know what I'm saying? Like just it's so sick, like picking up an ongoing TMNT series. I kind of feel bad that I already, ended up dropping it off my pull, but I'm glad you're showing us some love here, dude. TMNT,
Yeah.
because with the first couple issues of Jason Aaron's run, it's like that thing, bro. He's setting like the foundation. And maybe those first 4 issues, I was like, oh, I like them, right? But I want them together. And when they get
Mhm.
together in that last issue, I was like, okay, I might need to add this back to my pull, dude.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's a thing with Jason Aaron. You kind of got to be patient. But
yep,
even me, I was really enjoying those issues where they were just by themselves and seeing their journeys and where they were at, like whether it was
right,
mentally, physically. I was loving what he was doing. It was a great setup. And now that they're together, it's taken off. Like this
right.
thing it's insane now.
And there's like that intrigue of I don't know if maybe he's already gone into it, but I don't know if this is maybe covered in like the last volume of TMNT, like before Jason Aaron hopped on. Just like the intrigue of like what happened to cause the group to break up. I don't know if that's been explored yet, but I found that really interesting. Okay, so it sounds like that's kind of still kind of hasn't been revealed yet, or I don't know if that was in the last volume. I'm not even sure. Okay,
It hasn't been revealed yet, but I think he's
gotcha,
getting to. I think the next issue will probably reveal it just because of what happened in this issue. But
gotcha.
yeah, we'll
Yeah,
see.
right on, dude. Listen, I might have to add it. I might have to add it back, and that's one too that my shop doesn't order like singles that no one orders very often. Like they're very strict. Like if it's on your pull, we'll order it for you. But other than that, like we don't have too many things on the stands like extra. But
Right.
TMNT is a series that they always have extras of. So I might have to just go back and get issue number 6, 7, and just add it to my pull from here on out. So right on, dude. Who knows? Maybe next month I'll be talking about TMNT, guys. Who knows?
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, what have we got? Number 6.
Number 6. Yeah.
I know you're reading this, dude. Mark Waid, Dan Mora, Justice League Unlimited, dude. Come on.
It's a
Issue
great
number
issue.
4, dude. Okay, so when I'm reading this, dude, I am just blown away. So, like, because if you think about it, right, this is a Justice League title. Mark Waid has to wear everybody's hat. He has to be Batman. He has to speak for the voice of the Flash. He has to be Martian Manhunt. Like, it is insane. And then on top of that, Dan Mora has to draw him. Dan Mora's drawn like every character in the DC universe in this like one issue, dude.
Yeah, and they all look good. All of
They
them.
all look good. Like if you showed this like Justice League Unlimited to someone who's never read a comic before, this would be like how they picture the Justice League. You know what I'm saying? Like this is just such a perfect, encapsulation of what the Justice League should be. And you get crazy sequences like jumping into the green. It's just
So good.
insanity, dude. So
yeah, so good.
and like you get the intrigue of like, oh, there's someone on the inside of the Justice League like who's actually a villain. You get that whole thing going on. The whole like evil cabal of flame hood people. Who knows what's going on with that? You know what I'm saying? Justice League Unlimited, dude. I'm having a ton of fun with it. I'm not the first person to say it, but it really does feel like just an episode of the show. You know what I'm saying?
It does.
Like you queued up, you just watching Justice League Unlimited, and it's right there, dude. So that's got to be my number 6, dude. Having a ton of fun with Justice League Unlimited.
The great pick.
We're in the top 5s now, dude.
All right, top 5. The Ultimates, number 9.
Okay,
The Ultimates
dude,
has
nice.
to be top 5. I think I've said this before, but this was the best written issue since issue 4 for me.
Which one was
I'm
4?
loving. Issue
4
4
was
was the
the
one
the Fantastic
where
Four one, right?
yeah, and where we see like the Maker like torturing Doom and
Right.
it's that
That one was
that's the
so
best issue.
telling 4 stories at the same time, like just like an insane way to do a comic book in general, right?
Yeah, it's so insane. But the Ultimates 9 is
Number
great.
9.
We get Luke Cage in this. Luke Cage is great already. I'm loving what he stands for. I'm loving the figure that he is in this issue and how he feels like he can change things inside instead of out. As much as I would love for him to be a part of the Ultimates right now, but I think it's interesting for him. Like like I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna see what I can do in here and then whenever they need me the most out there, I'll go out there. But yeah, it's such a well-written issue, and we get obviously the back and forth with the past and the present and
Right.
what he's been going through. But yeah, it's great issue. I think Dennis Camp he's insane, man. He's really insane right now.
So I'll save my thoughts on the Ultimates because let's just say it's in my top 5 and it's not number 5. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. That's fair. Very fair.
no, but listen, dude, I'm glad that you brought it up because what an issue, absolutely. But I'll save my thoughts on it. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Number 5, dude. Number 5. I don't know. You must be picking this one up. We've got Green Arrow issue
Of
number
course.
21. Dude.
Of course, I'm picking it up.
My
the new
God,
arc is
dude.
insane. It's so fire. The suit, the detective noir thing that's going on.
Yes, dude. Yes. You are just speaking my language here.
The killers, it's
like the killer cult. Yeah, so we got Montos on the art here, and Montos was doing the art for, oh my God, Green Lantern War Journal, right?
Yes.
And you got Lucas, who I think was also coloring Montos' stuff there, coming right over. You got Chris Condon, who we were speaking about at the top of the episode, just killing it on an absolute heater. You said it. I mean, awesome. Just reinvention of all these kind of costume, the detective noir type of feel. So, like, I had dropped Joshua Williamson's Green Arrow run after issue 7 or something like that. This is like perfect for me, dude. This is like everything I could have wanted in a Green Arrow series. Just the fight scenes are super cool. And like, dude, Montos' like facial expressions and everything. Like, I don't know, dude. This is like my favorite way comics can look. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then beyond that, dude, we got to give an extra shout out to the letterer of this issue. We have Hassan Otsmane Alehu. So if you're real nerdy and you pay attention to the lettering, guys, I mean, you get stuff like this, you know what I'm saying? That's a Hassan classic, like where it just blends right in and it looks like it was almost done by the artist. Like it looks like that maybe is something that Montos did, but I think it's something that Hassan did, you know what I'm saying? Or like, just kind of like these crunches and the flips or whatever, they kind of just blend in so naturally to the scene. So yeah, just got to give a complete shout out to the creative team just all around, Condon, Montos, Lucas, and Hassan Otsmane Alehu. This stuff is just so sick, dude. I'm loving this Green Arrow series. One of the standouts of the DC All-In, dude, for sure. Absolutely, man. So
I agree.
Definitely be checking that out. Underrated for sure. Not enough people are picking that up.
I agree, which is insane because they should.
I know, dude.
Yeah, it's a great, great book. I'm loving it as well. But coming at my number 4, we are going with The New Gods, number 3, Rom V,
Love it,
Evan
dude.
Cagle, Riccardo Federici on the art is what the highlight is for me.
Yep.
Dude, these what is this? Like what?
I know.
I don't. Like, are we serious? This art is crazy. It's dark, it's gritty, it's full of life. It's just everything. Like, I don't know. Riccardo Federici was perfect for this issue. Rom V is perfect for this group. I love how I love how he expands on Jack Kirby's lore of New Gods. He just expands on that and modernizes it. But man, insane in world building, insane lore and mythos. It's just phenomenal so far. This is one of the best DC books on stands, in my personal opinion. It's 3 for 3 right now, and I don't see any signs of slowing down. I don't. So this is coming at my number 4 for the month of February.
Yeah. So I hate to say it. So that one, it didn't make my top 10. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking back on it. I probably should have. I think for me, this one maybe it wasn't as good as like 1 and 2. Like 1 and 2, I just felt like was such a strong like 1-2 punch. This one, maybe it was just on me, like the time I tried reading it. I was getting kind of lost with the Federici, like, super cosmic out there kind of lore with it. I feel like I could benefit for a reread on this issue in particular. But I mean, just the art, Evan Cagle, you said it, Federici, and then Rom V, so perfect for New Gods. I mean, just a match in heaven, right? Because like you're saying, he's like adding to the Kirby, New Gods lore and stuff like that, but it doesn't feel like disrespectful or like super out of place. Like it just feels like a natural extension. You know what I'm saying? I'm so glad you gave some shout outs to New Gods, dude, because although this one like didn't make my top 10, next month, you know what I'm saying, there's a high chance that it's gonna make my top 10. You know what I'm saying? Like if we did this in Jan, that issue would have made it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, dude, right on. New Gods, I love it, dude. Okay. Speaking of this is like a Jason Aaron heavy episode, dude. Batman Off-World. Are you reading this? Did you read this, dude?
I did read that. I did. It was a great ending. It was a great ending.
Yes, dude. Okay, so that's why I wanted to bring it up. I have to give this book its flowers for just ending in such an awesome, epic way, dude. I want to literally stand on top of my roof of my apartment and just start screaming from the rooftops about this book, dude, because criminally underrated. Listen, I get it, dude, with the Doug Mankey delays, you know what I'm saying? You know that Doug Mankey can take a while for his books. But man, it's like the whole so you read it, right? The whole sequence where that guy was whispering in Batman's ear, and it kind of is building and building. And he like whispers back, dude. Like it's just so sick. And then at the very end, you get the Batman in space. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'll say about that because it is a pretty epic moment. But yeah, dude, just such an awesome conclusion to it. It's Batman out in space. For those that don't know, it's like, how does Batman know how to fight aliens, right? Like it's never really explained. This series kind of fills in the gap for me. He's out in space trying to save a planet of orphans, like a full planet of orphans. It's like the ultimate Batman story, dude. So Batman Off-World, you guys got to check it out when the trade comes out. I promise you, dude. I promise you, you're going to love it, dude. So
I agree.
Jason Aaron with the Heat. Another thing I'll say, just one thing about Jason Aaron's, one of his like skill sets or whatever, such a great just internal monologue, right? Like he just has a great voice for Batman, right? Or the Ninja Turtles or whatever he's doing, like narration boxes. Something about the way he does it, like the rhythm of it, or
Yeah.
great flow, right? So it just comes off very natural, I guess, is the way I would put it. So Jason Aaron, man, another great series. Definitely check out Batman Off World. Are
I
we in the
agree.
top threes, dude?
We are in
Top
the top
three.
three. We are top three. And speaking of Jason Aaron, coming in at number three for me is Bug Wars. Bug
There we go,
Wars,
dude.
number one. So rad, bro. There's a lot to talk about in this issue, but the art is also it's really good. It's violent,
Yep.
bloody. It's it's great, man. This is, I believe it's like honey badger mixed with something else. I forgot the other thing it's mixed with. Um, but this is a
People
great first
people
issue.
say people say a mix of like Honey I Shrunk the Kids or something like that,
Yeah,
and then Game of Thrones is like the other thing that people want to compare it to.
that's a great comparison. Yeah, I would say Game of Thrones as well. But this follows a kid named Slade. Slade has his family moved in to where his dad and him used to stay, or this new house. But he has a brother, and his brother has fears of bugs, and his brother was traumatized at a very young age because of what happened to their dad. But it
When
gets
we find
crazier
that out, I was
from
like, oh,
there.
I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when we get to the meat and potatoes of it, I think it's going to be crazy. But this first issue did a lot of great things. It did a lot of interesting world building. It set up, I think, a lot of good questions for what's to come next. Uh, it had everything. It had action, it had intrigue. And it's just metal. It's just metal, man. It's one of the best first issues I've read in a while, I would say.
I would absolutely agree with that. And, to tease a little bit, you know what I'm saying? It's in my top three and it's not number three. You know what I'm saying? So no, dude, but I agree. What an insane number one. So I'm not familiar with the creative team on Bug Wars, but I guess they had like worked together previously. So you're going into a series that they already have like that good rapport, you know what I'm saying? So it's no
Right.
surprise that the art is just looks so insane. But yeah, dude, Bug Wars number one. What a great start for a series out of Image Comics, man. I'm loving Bug
Very
Wars.
star. Loving it.
Number three, dude, for me, Power Fantasy, issue number 6, dude. So I feel like this is the first issue in the new arc, the new arc here. The character that we see on the cover, it turns out that he is one of the superpowered people's kids.
Yeah.
That revelation is gonna shake up everything because it's like the Cold War thing. Like, okay, if you get a nuke, I'll get a nuke. That way, you won't use your nuke because I have a nuke. So it's like that kind of like back and forth escalation that's going on. But if they have a kid that's way more powerful than everybody else, it's like, oh my gosh. So just the tensity in this level in this series is just turned to like an 11. It just feels like it's like ready to just boil over. You know what I'm saying? So Casper Wingard's just like pop kind of colored artwork. I just really do love just the character designs and just how colorful and kind of pleasing to look at this book is. But then yeah, beneath the surface, it's like stuff could be going down at any moment here. So I'm really loving this series. Kieran Gillen, my first ever Kieran Gillen series, man. I gotta do
Oh,
some
wow.
homework and yeah, I gotta go do some reading because this series is just blowing me away, issue after issue.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude,
Karen Gillan is great. He's a great writer.
yeah, I'm loving this. Just the idea of this series is just like it almost seems like nothing's happening, but it's like you know it's about to. It can happen at any moment. Just like a total war just breaking out. So yeah, dude, Power Fantasy, another Image comic. I mean, we're talking a lot about Image comics in this one, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So number two, we are itching to that number one spot. It's crazy. But at number two for me, has to go to Absolute Wonder Woman. Number
Nice.
five
Okay.
has
Nice.
to Kelly Thompson, Hayden Sherman. This was once again just metal. I think that's what the series is. It's metal, but it's Wonder Woman at her core, her compassion, her love
Right.
for humanity. She turned into Medusa in this issue. I don't even. It was so crazy how it just happened. She just had this lasso where we get to, which was explained
Mm.
that her mother Cersei gave her, and it was so well done. I love her and Cersei's dynamic. It's beautiful. But when she turned into Medusa, I was just like, no way. You would think it wouldn't get more rad than it was, because last issue we saw her embiggen her sword and just
So
chop a
crazy.
monster in half. Like, yeah, no, like this is insane. So Absolute Wonder Woman, just a great end to this story arc, because we're about to be in a new one. And yeah, I can't wait for the next arc. Kelly Thompson is killing it on this one. Killing it.
Yeah,
The best
dude.
absolute
Okay.
title, by the way. Best absolute title.
I love that, dude. I love that because I think I agree with you. Just overall, I think I'm digging the Absolute Wonder Woman series. That issue though that you just brought up, because I read it yesterday and I was like, God, I think it came out this week, right?
It did, yep.
Yeah, and I was sitting with it. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think that cracks my tent for the month. You know what I'm saying? Even though I really did enjoy it, really did love it. I think it's kind of like how I feel about the New Gods, where it's like, I think I prefer other issues, like if I'm ranking them in my mind or whatever. But same thing, bro. Absolute Wonder Woman next month, it'll most likely be in my top 10. You know what I'm saying? It usually is.
Yeah.
So it just didn't make it this month, dude. My number two, the Ultimate's number
Yeah.
nine, dude. So, dude, the way I feel about this series, it's super interesting. I guess like my feelings on it. It's like every issue could be like the best issue ever that I ever read, right? But just the series as a whole, I'm like where are we getting to? Or like it doesn't feel like we're pushing towards something. I guess it kind of feels like, I don't know if other people feel this way, but maybe like we're waiting for like the maker to break out or something. You know what I'm saying? Like it's then we can start like get going. But with that being said, I mean, you brought up issue number 4. That was probably my favorite single issue of last year. You brought like the Hawkeye issue, the America Chavez issue. Like all of these issues are really stand out, and this issue is just no exception, dude. I mean, you brought it up. You were giving it a ton of flowers. The one thing I will say and add to it, I thought it was just such a cool comic book type of thing. The entire issue is like these 9-panel grids, but then
Yeah.
you start seeing him slowly kind of breaking out of both the 9-panel grids, but then also breaking out of, like his imprisonment and stuff like that.
Right.
And then when
Yeah.
you finally see him break out and then you get that full page spread,
Yeah.
he's free, he's Luke Cage, this is who he is. I was like, dude, it's like the entire issue, it's like building up to that. And then you turn that page, dude, and I'm like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So echoing all your sentiments you were bringing up, like you just like the idea of this Luke Cage. He's gonna stay in the prison system and he's gonna help people out that way. It does have me wondering, like, what is Luke Cage's future in the Ultimate Universe? But great first look at him for sure. This Ultimate's number 9 was just so good. So yeah, dude.
Yeah. I agree. All right. Now I'm pretty sure is the honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions, dude.
Honorable mentions, yeah. So I have 3 of them. Uh, we're gonna start off with Absolute Superman number 4. This was an
Nice.
honorable mention. I really wanted to include this in my 10. I love this issue still. I just preferred the 3rd issue over this one. Still strong, but I love the 3rd issue of this series. I think it's the best so far, where we get to a flashback in Krypton and we see his family. We had his mom in this crazy suit. She
So
with the
sick,
gun,
dude.
and it was, that's the sickest issue of this series. But this is still great. We get our boy Jimmy, so I love that. Absolute Superman. Honorable mention, another one for me. It's got to be Storm. I gotta
Right,
shed
dude.
light. I have to shed light on this series. I have to, because part of me wanted to put Ultimate Wolverine as an honorable mention. Ultimate Wolverine was
Mm.
also amazing. It was great. But I have to highlight Storm because I think people are missing out on this series. The series is doing amazing things so far. The art is great. Where they're taking her character is super interesting. She's a herald of eternity, which is it's insane. It's so cosmetic.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
recently had this fight with Doom. This was insane. Like there was a crazy cosmetic battle between Eternity and Oblivion. It's so fascinating. It's fascinating. Storm is amazing. It's one of the best Marvel titles I think out right now for me. And then lastly, Power Fantasy has to be on here
Nice.
for honorable mention. Another book I wish, it's crazy. If it was any other month, it would have been on my top 10 for sure. It would
That's
have
what
been
I'm
up there.
saying, dude. I
Like
know.
so this was insane. Finding out that this kid is the kid of Heavy,
Of
one of the
heavy,
other
yep.
one of the super powered individuals, man. But Power Fantasy, if we're talking image books, I don't see how it's not in your top 5. But
Right.
yeah, Power Fantasy it's amazing. It's kicking off this new arc really strong.
Dude, awesome honorable mentions, man. This is why I'm excited, because I knew you'd be bringing stuff that like I wasn't even tuned into Storm, brother. So now I got Storm written down. That's awesome.
Oh, great.
All right, dude. My honorable mentions. First up, gotta give it to Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 14. I was gonna say best issue in a while, but that Christmas party issue was like one of the best
It
single issues
was.
I've read in a while. So
It,
I just really like kind of the direction that they're going. For the longest time, it was like my favorite Marvel series, but it's like I couldn't place like I guess I just really like the character of Spider-Man. But now it's like, all right, now we're getting like good stuff, good stuff here. So I like the direction Hickman's bringing it, dude. Ultimate Spider-Man number 14. You guys are picking this up. I don't need to say anything about it. You know what I'm saying?
hey,
The second for honorable mention, dude, got to give a shout out to, I don't know if anybody's reading this. You should be, though. We got Spectrum, issue number 3 from Mad Cave Studios. Good buddy Dave Chisholm is doing the art for it. Mutual there on TikTok. Just like some of the most beautiful. Let me try this page right here. If I show you this page, you might buy the book just on site. It's just insane
gorgeous.
stuff, dude.
That's gorgeous. Yeah.
So yeah, Dave Chisholm is like one of the best artists in the game right now, and this series is a ton of fun. Perfect for people who like everything everywhere all at once. It's got that kind of like universe hopping type of vibe. So yeah, definitely check out Spectrum. Last honorable mention, Absolute Batman issue number, what was that, 5 there?
Yeah, 5, yep.
So I know a lot of people were kind of like, oh, the year 1, they weren't so hot on it. Dude, I like the year 1 stuff, and I thought that this one right here is just back to where it was before the year 1 stuff, right? So just really enjoying the series. Didn't quite make my top 10, but this Black Mask and like the action scene, like just some awesome Batman stuff, man. So yeah, Absolute Batman issue number 5. Got to give shout outs. Kai, let's hear that number 1, dude.
Number one.
The moment we've all been waiting for, guys.
Ultimate Spider-Man number
Nice.
14. Ultimate Spider-Man. Now, if anybody who don't know me out there, yes, I am a big Spider-Man guy, but this book is, you have to understand, like, Spider-Man hasn't had good writing in like over a decade, bro. So like when we got this Ultimate title, Jonathan Hickman is giving us exactly what we wanted. An older Peter Parker, married with Mary Jane, has 2 kids, has a stable life, he's happy. This is everything you can want. He's choosing to be Spider-Man because obviously the maker made some changes. But this issue, Peter is a menace.
Yeah.
I love seeing this. I love seeing the dog come out of him because like, what, bro? He just knocking his jaw off.
Yeah.
He's staring down Craven. He's letting him know, like you thought this was gonna hurt me. Like when he broke his gun in front of him.
Yeah.
It's,
dude,
yeah,
like you come from my family type stuff. Like,
yeah, so good. And then of course we have a shocking death, quote unquote.
oh man,
because in my opinion, he's not dead. He's not dead.
I was
don't think he's dead.
What is going on here? I'm like, there's no way they're doing this right now. It's like a corner panel, and like you can barely even see. It's like, oh, he got shot in the head. Like, oh geez, but it's like a tiny little dot. I'm like, this seems like it should have been like if it was real, right? It'd be a bigger moment or something.
Right. Yeah.
So, I don't know. Something fishy with that, dude.
I don't think he's dead, but this issue was absolutely off the rails. And like I said, I'm loving everything Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm very interested in what they're going to do with Richard Parker and Black Cat. I think that is very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
I want to know how Hickman is going to handle that, but this is amazing. I have no complaints of Ultimate Spider-Man. I think it's the best book on shelves.
Nice.
This is everything.
Right now, it's my favorite. It's my favorite, like, it's consistently my favorite Marvel book on stands for sure. I could say that without a doubt. And you mentioned like the his son and the Black Cat stuff. I was reading this thing and I kind of got a new theory, bro, that this Peter Parker might die and be the Uncle Ben for his son.
For his son, yeah. I've heard that theory too.
So
yeah, I've heard that theory.
I just get the vibes that this Peter, I don't know, man. I just get the vibes he's gonna die. I don't hope it's true, but I just get that feeling. I don't know why, but
I don't hope it's true either. What I really want is for Peter and Richard to like have a team up, like have them be a duo later on in the future.
True.
That's
Yep.
what I want. I want Peter to train him. I want them to
Uh,
go on missions. Like, yeah, that's what I want. But I do love that Ben theory. I do that's a possibility. I think
it's scary, dude.
I think that's the beauty of like ultimate universes and absolute universes, that the opportunities are endless. Like there's
Right?
so
True.
many ways they can go. You just never know. But yeah, man, insane.
Dude, I love it, man. Okay, so look forward to next month, guys. We'll probably be talking about, the next issue of Ultimate Spider-Man. You know, it is my number one. It's got to be Bug Wars, dude.
Yeah.
It's just such a great number one. I mean, we brought it up. I'm not gonna like talk your guys' ear off. I will say, dude, at first I was like, man, the brother, you're such an asshole. You're killing all the bugs. But then, like, you see what I was alluding to, like, the reason why he hates bugs. I'm like, okay, dude, I get it. I get it.
I
All
get
right.
it. Yeah.
I get it. And I don't know, just this character, like, a series that's got, like, the most promise just from reading issue number one. Like, this series can go for 1,000 issues. Like, I can literally see this being, like, one of the longest running comic books of all time. Like, it's got so much promise. Such a cool world, like, with the Bug Clan and the Ant Clan and the Beetle Clan. And I don't know if you have caught it online, but like Jason Aaron, the way he talks about this series, there is so much fucking lore in this book, dude. It's ridiculous. Like the back half of the single issue here is like, you got a map, you're turning it. It's got like, all the character designs, and it's like fun facts about like the whole world, right? So it's just such a well thought out, just here's an issue number one from Image Comics, and it's gonna fucking rip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, when he's punching he says, what does he say? He says, "And fuck your face," and he punches his head into smithereens, dude. So,
That's probably my favorite moment of that book. It was when he did
sick,
that. That
dude.
was so fire.
So yeah, man, I am loving Bug Wars. Just this whole back part where Jason Aaron is explaining like the idea behind it, and I don't know, man. You can tell that this is like a labor of love for sure, dude. So I cannot say enough good things about Bug Wars. You got to be reading it, guys.
Gotta read it.
Listen, I think it's sold out. You got to get that second printing, guys. Good stuff. But, dude, I think that's been it, man. Oh, wait. Did we want to do like looking forward to March, like a number one that's coming out in March that we're really looking forward to?
Yes.
If you,
I had a list on my notes,
listen,
but I'm pretty sure I could think of some on my.
Gotcha. If you want me to go first, bro, because listen, March is like the craziest month. It's got so many number ones, so many things I could give shout outs to, and like I want to give a shout out to an indie book number one, but I got to just get ready for Absolute Flash, dude. I am so ready for it. When they announced the Absolute titles, I'm like, okay, this is cool, but where's Flash, dude? And when they announced that Jeff Lemire was writing it, it's just like perfect. Like it's a Wally West book, a young Flash that, there's no mantle. He's the first one to have the powers. So I just know that Jeff Lemire is going to be cooking with it, dude. So that's got to be my most anticipated of next month. But like we're saying, dude, there's a ton of good stuff coming out next month. So
there's
Absolute
a
Flash
ton.
has got to be mine.
Yeah. See, it was hard for me to just pick one. But for DC, I'm going to go Absolute Flash and Absolute Martian Manhunter, because Martian Manhunter looks
tough,
sick.
dude, between those two.
Dear Rodriguez on Dennis Camp is writing it. It just sounds like golden. But if we're talking Image or just indie, we're taking everything down with us. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called.
Yeah.
But that's the one.
We're taking everyone down with us.
Everyone down with us.
Like that?
Yeah. That's the one I'm like, you here for it. And there's a lot of Image issue ones that come out that month, but that's the one where I'm like, yeah, because you do have Bitterroot coming back, which I'm hyped for.
True.
You have it's the one with the killer. Is it You'll Be Killed? You'll be killed by us all.
You'll
or
do
something?
bad things.
You'll do bad things. That's what it wants. Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of interesting
and
stuff.
And that's the crazy
March.
part. They're all coming from Image too. It's like ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
And then, listen, speaking of Dennis Camp, he's got one coming out in March as well, dude. In addition to, he's got Assorted Crisis Events, dude.
Yeah.
Which also from Image, brother. So it's like, so yeah, guys, listen, look forward to March. I don't want to promise anything, but I have a good feeling that we might be doing this again in March. Who knows, though? Who knows?
Who knows?
Let us know how you guys feel about it. Yeah. You know, definitely check out KhiBucks. Thank you so much for joining me, dude. KhiBucks0. Check him out. The link down below. I promise you guys, if you watch one of Kai's videos, you'll come away with it with like a recommendation. And then if you check it out, you're going to love it, dude. That's what happens to me all the time. Every time I watch Kai's videos, man, I'm always getting a great rec. So definitely check him out. Kai, any last words, dude?
No, not really, man. Thank you for having me for one. Thank you for thinking of me or recommending. But yeah, man, this was fun. I mean, I hope we can do this in March. Like I said, I have the time. Just let me know. But I am
Yeah,
definitely
dude.
down to do this, bro. I'm definitely so down to do this with you again, man. It was great
Because
meeting you
listen,
once again.
yeah, dude. No, listen, I was serious, man, because I just wanted to talk, like, you know, long form, talk nerdy, get really in depth with these single issues. And I think you're like the perfect person to have on and talk about them with me, man. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. I don't think this has like a fancy name, dude. It's just the best comic books in the month of February. So, yeah, thank you guys for
All right,
watching and read more comics, man.
read more comics.